Hi and welcome to another week of lockdown. In this vlog I found a new piece of film which was bleeding the brakes of the RV4, and in the look back section I've been asked the question, have I had any close calls? Well, I haven't had too many, but I'll go back to 2016 to answer that question. I hope you are all well and coping in this strange and difficult times. I would like to say a very big thank you to all of my new subscribers and probably talk just a little bit about my channel. I'm not into subscriber numbers or viewer numbers. I think probably if I was, I'd have given up ages ago. Here I am. I'm 4 years into producing videos. I've got just under 1,300 subscribers, and I probably get about an average of 400 views if I'm lucky. But I'm not actually doing it for the number side of it. If you like the content, then that makes me very pleased. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you feel. As a teacher, I always tend to leave comments on people, but probably they're a little bit more schooly based than they should be. But I've been making videos primarily to record what I've been doing. I started off by making the videos to self-review the flying that I've been doing, but then with my children and my grandchildren living away, I wanted to make sure that I was giving them a record of what I have been doing. As a teacher, I've always liked to share things with people, and I think perhaps during this time of lockdown, that's why I've included some of the other bits and pieces that I have been doing, which may or may not be of interest to my general viewers. And having said that, if you didn't manage to work your way right the way through to the end of last week's video, you might not have seen that I added to the bottom of it that I have actually now received the OK from my AME to say that my treadmill tests results have gone through. Not only that, I got a little bit worried when he said he needed to see all of the results. But I have had an email to come through saying he's very happy with the results and happy flying when we get the chance to do it. So yeah, I think I've said enough. Let's crack on with the video.
In actual fact, the best way to do this is from the bottom up, because then you get you're pushing the bubbles the way that bubbles want to go.
But you say that the way that pipe goes round, it does also create a little bit of an air bubble, don't you know? If it's there, it's got somewhere to be trapped, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Yet somehow or other it draws air in from down the bottom.
That's as hard as hell now, that stuff. So I think this calls for, see, that's really nipped down on that and basically fucked it up. That's a better type of throw, but even that's been over tightened. Right, okay.
You want me in and pumping?
not pumping, but just hold the pedal down.
Okay.
Because I'm going to try and back bleed it.
Yeah.
It's a real possibility.
You know how your thumb went yesterday?
Yeah.
My leg is going the same way now.
Right, okay, well, we're almost there, hopefully. Right, you can let off the brake.
Oh, cramp right up. Probably your thumb did it yesterday, didn't it? Locked right back. Yeah.
Yeah, good brake.
Let it off.
Off.
Still got air in it.
Hmm.
Put it
But
back on again.
brake feels really strong.
Hold it down.
Yeah, holding it.
Still drawing air back in,
Right.
despite everything.
As you say, it has taken up, what, 3 days now?
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting back a bit. In the meantime, we kept checking the forecast and preparing the flight plan. The break came at lunchtime, so with a final check of the weather, we filed a flight plan and prepared the RV for the 50-minute flight. The flight was fairly simple. It's direct from Calais to Chaffand-East via a small corridor between Antwerp and Brussels via the visual reporting points at Whiskey and Duffy. I didn't film the early part of the flight as the scenery was a bit repetitive, but the cloud had lifted and the skies were brighter. That was until we got closer to Ghent. We explained our rather erratic course to the Brussels controller. We wanted to make sure that we were okay, as no doubt he watched us steer around some other heavier rain, pointing towards the brighter skies. We're not the types to push on regardless, but when an aircraft departing Diest asked Brussels to open their flight plan, we asked the controller to check with them as to the current weather there, and we heard him double check when the aircraft reported that there was no rain at that particular moment in time. We were therefore surprised when, rather than improving, the weather actually worsened, and with 3 minutes flying time to our destination, we chose to throw a U-turn and beat a retreat when the wall of rain stretched right the way down to the ground. After a couple of minutes, Brussels advised us that Antwerp was relatively clear, and we declared an emergency weather diversion there, and were very, very relieved when they gave us a straight-in approach and told us that their airspace was clear. operating out of a small grass strip, I have to say that those runway lights coming out through the rain look very welcoming. The GoPro doesn't actually show just how heavy it was raining or how dark the skies were until perhaps we were down on the ground later on. The tower sent out a marshal on a bike in the pouring rain to meet us. We parked up while the heavy jets taxied past and were escorted to the security office. Everybody was extremely helpful. A telephone call to Raymond, the engineer at Antwerp, confirmed that we were in an interesting predicament. We were weathered in at Antwerp and trying to get to Diest, and he was weathered in at Diest and needed to get back to Antwerp. So he arranged for his son Tim to come to meet us, one with a hanger key in order to make sure that the RV was kept safe, and two, his car for us to drive to Diest to meet him in order to give him the transport to get back to Antwerp.
Okay, so the next part of the journey is John driving Raymond's car, following hopefully the sat nav.
Now we're going to follow push bike
and Raymond's son. So yeah, here goes for the next stage of this epic journey. So here we are, 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer since our journey, and we are arriving at Diest. Fly in by car.
I'm not sure that we actually want to be in here.
And we'll just check and see where we are. But yep, destination almost reached.
Probably need to be through there. I've still got my stuff. We've got to within.
I'll show you how that all worked out in next week's video. Every morning we drive the 1.5 miles to Dad's to do the horses and to check on him. Please subscribe hit the notification bell if you'd like to, tick like, share with anybody you think might be interested, and of course please leave me a comment. So between us we've just dug a new trench in order to plant some fresh asparagus, because this old bed has been here for some time but is a little bit sorry for itself.
20 years he's produced a lot of asparagus, and then this side, it wasn't of the bed, it wasn't very good, so I bought some more plants.
That trench all right then?
Love it. Beautiful job.
Can't really see because the sun is reflecting on the screen. I think that'll do.
Is it going?
Yep.
That's the tiger.
Meow. 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 Meow.
Good girl.
You're not going to be so happy in a minute when you get attacked with some water.
Am I in the way? Huh? Am I in the way? Did you lose? Whoops! Not bad off that, haven't you? Hey?
You take your hat off as you jump.
Yeah.
Yay, now I have 19. Oh, I want a million.
Okay, right, next.
I want a million trillion billion. Oh,
Unfortunately, Doris the cow doesn't have any hit points. Sorry, Nana.
That's all right.
Not very good at that. Because I really do like to carry on.
okay. Let's throw a sword on the
No, stop throwing swords.
Let's throw a sword at someone's head.
Shall I phone back when you're not playing this game? Because I don't really understand it.
It's been quite funny so far.
Okay.
Basically, Ollie says a sentence about the next thing that happens,
Yeah.
and we have to decide what we do, and then it depends on what we get on the dice as to whether or not it works.
Oh, I see. Right, okay.
So,
You have to decide together what you're going to do.
yes, we have to decide as a team.
Let's show in the pen.
No, let's listen to Ollie. Yeah? We've also got mountain toe quests. Do you want to go to the mountains? The Dragon Barrow quest, the Butter Skull Ranch quest, and the Loggers Camp quest.
Loggers quest.
So Loggers quest, what do you reckon, Nana?
Oh, yeah, that or the ranch quest.
Deep in Neverwinter Woods, along the river that flows west towards Neverwinter, is a logging camp. Every 2 months, Van Dalen delivers fresh supplies to the camp, which is run by the half-brother of Van Dalen's townmaster, Harvey Wester. Bob and Barton.
Going to show a new piece of video. Yeah. You may have seen me say, well, no, you can't have seen me say, could you? That's ridiculous. You can't say, see, use, say. I am including a piece of film that I haven't used before, which is breaking the bleeds. No, we're not breaking the bleeds. Yeah, pillock. And thank you to all of my existing long-term subscribers. No. We need to stop for a moment. They are all clapping.
Well, welcome to Northern Ireland and meet the emergency services teams of Craigavon. We have the fire service, police, health workers, hospital staff and paramedics are all out here tonight. There's also a piper, you might be able to hear him giving a rendition of Over the Rainbow. Pretty fitting song tonight. So many people have been displaying rainbows in thanks to health workers. This is a tribute to them, but also a moment to thank all those essential workers who we can't do without right now. Some of these hospital staff you see tonight are going through some of the most intense times of their careers, but they've paused for a brief moment just to come and share this show of solidarity this evening under intense pressure, and there are many people across Northern Ireland out here to show their admiration and appreciation as this 8 o'clock clap has turned into a real unifying moment for the nation.